G'day everybody, thanks for stopping by. Today's video is just going to be a review of the Auxbeam 9-inch laser driving lights. Auxbeam sent these out to me for the purpose of review a few months ago, and as you do, on the very day that they turned up, I fitted them to the vehicle, and I just haven't had enough time to get out and get some of the B-roll and the footage I wanted to get to you, so I can actually do a comparison between the previous lights that I've had on. I like to go to the same spot and test my lights when I do reviews, and I just couldn't get there and get the footage. So I've had this on the car for probably about 3 months, maybe a little bit longer. I've had an opportunity to do some driving, do a little bit of bush stuff, some back road country stuff, and obviously the usual freeway local road type stuff as well. So I've got a bit of an understanding now how well these work, and I've got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed. If you follow the channel, you'll know that I like to have a lot of light coming off the front of the four-wheel drive, and I don't think that makes me any different to anybody else. I've been through a number of iterations of lights, and I originally started with a set of 140 Nava halogen lights. It's my little mate. We're just hanging out in the bush here at the moment, just a little campsite. And he's been bitten on the back foot by something, so he's not particularly happy. He's feeling a bit sooky because his foot's sore. Then paired them up with just an eBay light bar. Then I moved to a new light bar, which is this one here. This is just a Sunny, again, eBay special, $130 odd. But I've been really happy with this. Been on the vehicle for about 4 or 5 years. Great spread, but it's just starting to take in moisture. Just to show you what water ingress looks like. So you can see on here, this is the water that's now getting into the light bar, and you can see in particular up this end. I have opened the pressure valve and allowed this to sit open. Probably been open for about a week now, but this moisture just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Now the problem with LEDs is once you get this sort of water in here, it gets in behind the LEDs, and then you'll start to see your LEDs fail. But for 130 odd bucks, for the time that this has been on the front of the car, I've been really happy with that. Then I upgraded to the $120 eBay non-branded cheapies again. If Auxbeam hadn't sent these out to me, they would still be on the front of the car and I'd still be happy driving with them. And I'm actually trying to figure out how I get those back on the car. Anyway, that's another video. So if you're in the market for a set of spot driving lights and you're happy to spend 120 bucks, I can certainly recommend those ones that I had on this from eBay for 120 bucks. Was really happy with those. And again, if Auxbeam hadn't reached out to me and wanted to send me these out, they'd still be on the front of the car. So if you want to have a look at the review of those, you'll find a card up there. These are a 9-inch driving light from Auxbeam. They're a laser light, so they've got that center laser light technology that they refer to. I've got to tell you, I really like the way these look. I like the yellow accents on them. Makes them stand out, makes them look a little bit different. The Auxbeam logo's on the bottom, but it's not written all over it like they do the Kings. That's one thing I hate about the Kings. Here's a kind of like a combination light. You've got your laser center, which is for your throw. You can see you've basically got your laser or your projector unit in the middle, to which you can't actually see. Oh, yeah, okay, I think I can see the little LED in there. Okay, that's interesting. It basically looks similar to the ones that you can see here around all the others. But there's 3 LEDs rather than just the single. I can confirm I'm seeing somewhere around the 900 meters, 800, 900 meters. I've been able to identify something down the road and then checking my odometer how far it is away, and then I'll get there and I'm counting around about 900 meters. So let's call it maybe a kilometer, thereabouts. Anything beyond that, look, my tired old eyes aren't really seeing anyway. Definitely seeing light throw from the focus of the laser up to around about a kilometer. And then you've got a nice spread pattern as well from these lower LEDs here. We've got a number of other lights here that are also doing throw. So these are all a spot design. And then you've got a series of the lights down the bottom, or LEDs down the bottom, and the reflectors that are doing a spread. It's a nice beam pattern as well. But what I really like is that long throw straight down the middle of the road. And that's what I want for my round driving lights, because I typically match them up with a light bar, and I rely on that for the spread. That being said, these lights are so bright and they have a decent spread. The LED light bar is still slightly wider, but when I turn that on with these, I can only notice a slight little improvement of brightness on the outside. So these are doing a real good job. If you're not looking to if you're not looking to do the same as me here and throw a light bar on, you just want a driving light, you want something that's going to give you a good throw and going to give you a decent spread at the same time, then it's worth having a look at these. So let's just up in and have a look and see what actually comes in the box with these. We've got some instructions, which is a bit interesting because that appears to be for a light bar. Now that might come in handy just down the road for us because we've actually got the light bar of the same series coming out to us. So it's actually the light bar that we've got coming out is the 5D Pro series. Now these are the 360 Pro series. Don't ask me what the difference is because they look very similar to me. But Auxbeam seems to be trying to bring out some stuff to market lately. As you see that we did the switch panel for the back of the car a little while ago. That was something that they released to market, but you will actually notice that other retailers, online retailers, seem to be releasing similar things at the same time. So there must be something going on over there. There is a sticker. Now that is reflective as well. That's quite a nice looking sticker, and I've got to say it's one of the best looking stickers I've ever seen. I don't like putting stickers on my car, but I like the look of that, so that might actually make it onto the car. I will need to check online whether this is included, but this is obviously the wiring harness, and that's with Deutsch plugs. I've already got all the wires and stuff. I've already got it wired up to a factory looking switch inside. I'm not actually going to use this wiring harness. Now some nuts and bolts, etc. for mounting to the car. Now this is a typical downfall of some of your Chinese made products. So I've got high hopes here for Auxbeam. Now these have been on the car for probably around about 3 months, maybe a little bit longer. They're not showing any signs of wear. I can't see any chips or anything in the polycarbonate lens. They do need a little bit of a clean. I've got some dead mozzies and stuff on them. But what I want to show you is those mounting bolts. Now I think you can see the rust that's on these mounting bolts. So what they either need to do, they either need to coat them the same as they've done with the bracketry, or give you some decent bolts. Now I've got to say, this is not unique to Auxbeam, because if I swing you down and we have a look at our co-lights, you'll see the stainless steel mounting bolts. That one there, and this one here, rust all over the place. Now I've got to tell you, that's a real disappointment. These lights are on the market for around about 400 bucks Australian. If I'm spending 400 bucks Auxbeam, granted I didn't, but if I'm going to spend 400 bucks on a set of lights, I want some decent bolts that aren't going to rust. This is not a cheap set of lights. It's probably middle of the road. 400 bucks is still a fair investment for most people, if not all people. So when you get bolts that rust like that after 3 or 4 months on the front of the car, it's not really good enough. So you need to pick up your game there and be providing people with decent bolts. If you can't provide them with the stainless steel ones, get them coated in something, whatever. Because at the end of the day, people are putting these on the front of their car, and if you get rust on that bolt, then it's possible that rust might go to your ball bar or something like that, or wherever else you've mounted the light. I think you can see I've got help here. Oh my boy. If anybody's curious, old mate here, you can see him. You can see all the grey on it. 14 years old is Titan. A little bit over 14, so old Titan's getting a little bit deaf and a little bit blind, but he still likes to hang out and do some work with me. So, Jesus, I can tell that there's a spread on these already, because even sort of standing a little bit off to the side, that's getting me in the face and like realistically too bright to look at. I probably should go and put some sunnies on. Hard to test the light because I want to look at that center. Can't see shit now. I want to look at that center section to see whether that's throwing light, but I can't look at them. I've got an idea. Happy to report that the auto tint is working on this as well, so they're bright enough to set the auto tint off.
Drama on the TV, it's full of pain, but we're Unexpected plot twist, we always say me. We're the good part, we never fake it. Even if it hurts, we always say it. Like it just like that. Kinda like it like that. Kinda like it like that. Like it just like that. Kinda like it like that. Kinda like it like that. Somehow we make sense. We're the only one who knows it. Our feelings never tense. We don't need no water under the bridge. We're the good part, the happy ending. Unexpected plot twist, we always say it. We're the good part, we never fake it. Even if it hurts, we always say it. Like it just like that. Kinda like it like that. Kinda like it like that. Like it just like that. Kinda like it like that. Kinda like it like that. We're the good part, the happy ending. Yeah. We're the good part.
Now, as far as the beam pattern goes, again, they're a nice spot with a nice spread. Adding that light bar on, you will see the additional spread out to the side, so that light bar is a little bit wider than the combination lights on the driving lights. When I turn the light bar on, I'm not seeing a great deal of difference in front of me. These lights are just outshining that light bar, so you can't even see you've turned it on. What I am seeing is just that last maybe 10% either side will just brighten up a little bit. It's already lit up from the driving lights, but it just becomes just that little bit brighter with that LED light bar on. Overall, really happy. Thanks to Auxbeam for sending these out for the test. That's really good. Again, I was just starting to look at the market and see what was available, and I was looking at throwing some money at Steady, because I got those Steady lights up around the outside, up on the roof rack there, that I installed the other week to go with the Auxbeam switch kit that I've installed. You know, you can see reviews up there. And I was really impressed with the quality of those Steady lights, and I was going to throw not an insubstantial amount of money at Steady to get some more driving lights and stuff for the front. And it just so happened that Auxbeam dropped an email in my mailbox right at that time and said, hey, you know, you interested in any more gear, we'll send it out to you. And I said yes. So I said yes to the driving lights. So I was really interested in these because I've been looking at those, and that was something I was looking at putting on the front. And I was also looking at getting a light bar as well. So, and I've got one of those on its way from Auxbeam. So it's not your bottom level, entry level type LED lights. These are more at your middle price point, and then Steady and Rigid and everybody else are sort of up here. So to give you an understanding, these are somewhere in that sort of middle price point. They're still not cheap. 440 bucks is a fair commitment for a set of driving lights. I think if you picked up a set of these, I think you'd be pretty happy, because I am. So that's it. Thanks very much for stopping by. If you've got any questions, put them down in the comments. And hopefully you'll be seeing some more LED light reviews in the near future. I'll put a link down in the description to where you can find these. I'll link you directly to the Auxbeam website. They do have a 10% discount on your first order. So if you're going to join up the website and you're going to purchase these, the code is FIRST10, F-I-R-S-T 10, number 10, 10. So stick that in, you'll get 10% off these, or anything else off the Auxbeam website. Don't know how long that's going to stick around for. They look shit hot. Anyway, get out of here. Thanks very much for stopping by. I'll talk to you on the next one. Cheers.